Thanks a lot for staying with us on TVC Breakfast. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers this Thursday morning. We have a host of them here with us, and of course later on we'll talk about one or two of them that stand out. The first to look at is The Nation, and the lead story there is on the PDP crisis. It's captioned as Ayu, that's the national chairman of the main opposition party, hits governors Wike, Otom, Makinde and Ikpeazu. He adds, or he said to have added, that they were nowhere when we formed the PDP. Of course, on the flip side, Rivers governor demands state's stake in the party, while Mimiko, Duke, Adoke and Ghana all are reportedly accused of fueling the crisis in the PDP. That's and more on The Nation. Now to the Daily Times. PDP national chairman still quoted there as stating to critics, "I will not resign." That's simply put there from the Daily Times. Also on the Daily Sun, still on trade of words between the national chairman Iyorchia Ayu and Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State. We'll get to that in a moment, but this day is towing a different line, saying that it's about 177 days to the presidential poll, and the race is still said to be too close to call, because the general election is fixed for between February to March of 2023. Finally, with me is The Guardian, and also on the PDP crisis, Ayu speaks as the PDP crisis gets messier, still quoted there saying he will not step down. That's it from me.
Oh, yeah. And let's get to the leadership. Still on the crisis in the People's Democratic Party. No end in sight for PDP crisis as Wike Ayu return to trenches. Wike, Otom, others were kids when we formed the PDP. That is credited to Iyorchia Ayu. Stop being power drunk. Respect Constitution on rotation. Wike's loyalists fire back. That's the leadership newspaper. From there, let's go to Nigeria News Direct. Nigeria News Direct says, "We will not allow any individual to destabilize PDP." Ayu is saying this. Lambasts those calling for his sack and call for Ayu's removal untimely, self-serving. Ajibola is saying this. Okay, that's the Nigeria News Direct. From there, let's go to Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint says, Ayu to Wike and others, "I won't resign over noise from boys and children." That's what the Blueprint newspaper has. PDP chair roused to complete 4-year mandate, all right? Or vows, rather, to complete a 4-year mandate. Says, "We won't allow one person to destroy our party." Okay, these are all riders there from the Blueprint newspaper. From there, let's go to The Punch. The Punch says, 2023 poll, APC presidential aspirants, shun Abuja meeting. All right, APC presidential primary co-contestants should not be ignored, says aspirant. And Tinubu Shetima unaware of meeting, says campaign team. Okay, this is from The Punch newspaper. From there, let's go to First News. First News is focusing on ASU. And it says, ASU to federal government, meet our fresh demands, will end strike. All right. Wants federal government to channel $23 million Abacha loot to education, as NANS deplores union's decision as unpatriotic, wicked, urges state universities to resume classes. Okay, that's the First News there. And then moving from there to The Guardian. All right, The Guardian brings out some really interesting statistics, I must say, and is focusing on UK study visas, and is comparing how the numbers have changed between 2019 to 2020. Now, if you see on the front page there, they put how many visas or study visas were issued or granted to Nigerians for Nigerians who want to study in the UK between the difference between 2020 and 2019. You see that the numbers have risen from 202,000, over 202,000 in 2019 to 486,000 1,868 in 2022. All right? So you see all that on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. From there, let's go to Business Day. Business Day says, lower JAMB cutoff marks seen as threat to education. Lower JAMB cutoff marks seen as threat to education. That's what the Business Day has in there. Now, Daily Trust is the next we're looking at. High cost of living takes toll on Nigerians. Inflation, food prices by over 4% in 7 months. How to arrest situation. Experts are weighing in on this. That's the Daily Trust there. And the last one I have here is This Nigeria. This Nigeria says, Nigeria loses 50 trillion naira to violence in 1 year. Institute of Economics and Peace damning reports. I think that's what the revelation there is, and indicts government over wasted 8 trillion naira on security. All that on the front page of This Nigeria. Kemi.
All right, Mike, interesting stories there. I particularly liked that the statistics shared on the Guardian. Really interesting and kind of a reflection of our times. But of course, we are not unmindful of the raging issues that appear yet resolved in the main opposition party, that's the People's Democratic Party. And, you know, will I say finally now, Ayu has been speaking, Iyorchia Ayu had been speaking before now, but the interview he granted at BBC Hausa Service now is, of course, speaking volumes. Now he's going down histories, you know, bringing up, you know, a bit of some history now, labeling some people as children, as in they were children, he says, when they were starting the PDP. And of course, the Wike team, they've not been keeping silent on the matter. Only yesterday, we were also witnesses to yet another display by the governor in River State. Not only was he dancing and sending rhetorics, he also had one or two things to say also, that still, those of you belittling River State, very soon, in a matter of days, you will get to know a very big announcement from our end. Interesting there, looking at the Ayu angle.
Ayu is what they call it, is an old horse.
Yeah.
That refuses to leave the barn. And he's telling everybody that I was here before you were here. But that is not the issue. The issue is not whether you are here from the beginning. It's not a Methuselah Solomon contest here. It is a contest of justice, according to the Wike people. They're saying that you cannot be in the north and be the what they call it, be the party chairman. And the candidate for the party's presidential election is also from the north. So he's saying that there is justice here. It's not a matter of who is old and who is not young. As far as people like Wike are concerned, it's like the old man and the seed in over by Hemingway, where the old man actually went to fish and he came back with only carcass. Exactly. You really have nothing to offer. It's not like being old. You're old. You spent all this time. What do you come up with? All the fish has been eaten by, all the flesh has been eaten by the sharks, and you have only bones to show for it. So that is what the Wike people are saying. Wike has said that something big is going to happen. We're waiting. See, Wike is trying to take the position which conservatives about democracy have said over time, that democracy is not about actually the number of votes, but the weight of the votes. That was the expression that was used by one of the great conservatives, Benjamin Disraeli, former Prime Minister of Britain. That he's trying to say, I am Wike, I have only one vote, but I can deliver more than one vote. Some people say it's not just the votes, but also what people from my side of the country call cadeaux. You know, that he also has the big pocket to deliver, and everybody cuts him for that, for either this or that. So it's not just about age here. It's about whether the party belongs to this age.
Capacity, influence, and of course, there are also, you know, some names that he also went on to say that his tenure, so to speak, is different from that of Atiku Abubakar's. And he even went on, or we don't know where this source is coming from, Mimiko, even Jerry Garner, Donald Duke, a former governor of Cross River State.
Yeah.
You know, all these people, so many names are now being wielded now as having a hand in the region crisis. Could it be because of their affiliation, so to speak, with Governor Wike? You know, all these issues are not resolved.
The point there is, we keep saying that anybody, in fact, like Sam said, Iyorchia Ayu is an old horse. He understands the dynamics of the politics. By now, we expect that because he understands where they are going, they should know the Wike factor. You're toiling with the Wike factor, it will be the undoing of the People's Democratic Party. Because the point there is that the South-South is the strongest hold of PDP in the country. And Wike runs that stronghold. So the point there is, they may brag to say, okay, without him we can't. But the issue there is, if care is not taken, because Wike, his team, remember that Governor Samuel Otom of Benue State, they have been saying the same from the start. Atiku, you have not gone to see Wike all the while. You have not gone to see Wike all the while. So the signs were there. They ignored it. So if at this point, Iyorchia Ayu, instead of as his position as the national chairman of the party, call everybody together. Be the father of the party. In fact, thank God he said that when they were the founding fathers of People's Democratic Party. He should be that father at this point. He wants to throw tantrums in the same way Wike is. I feel that will be the undoing. That's the beginning of the end of the mandates that they are seeking in 2023. So because as it is, at this point now, they should be gathering them. When APC and the other political parties are moving, trying to gather everybody together, setting their strategies together, PDP is being distracted by this same thing. And the founding fathers are there watching, throwing the same tantrums at this time is wrong.
So you're saying that if there's going to be a paternity test, it's the person, then the paternity test should be measured by how fatherly you are.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that if you as a father now are also, you know, struggling, it goes to say, well, what kind of father are you?
What Yoruba, Agbalagba to Kosinu Korodom, according to Yoruba, is that, you know, an old man who has not acted according to how he's supposed to act.
Because it's really getting to the point where, okay, September the 28th date is slowly coming upon us when campaigns will kick off mainstream. And of course, the drama will more or less center at the states. Now, you deliver your state, you deliver your state. And we wait and see how, you know, parties will fare, you know, state by state.